Welcome to EQTV, the emotional fitness channel. And today we're going to be talking about emotional eating, binge eating, how to stop. I'm going to give you my top four strategies so that you can be happy to be you. Welcome back. I'm MaryAnne Quezel, emotional fitness coach and performance strategist. Today we're going to be talking about binge eating, and I'm going to unpack it so that you can see how to stop it and how to improve your life when it comes to comfort eating. I'm going to look at the triggers and the solutions. So number one is to appreciate there's always a reason. Remember, when we have a behavior, behind that behavior is a feeling, behind that feeling is a need, and it's an unmet need. And that is the cause of why people comfort eat, why people binge eat, why people have eating disorders. Just look at when somebody in the movies breaks up with somebody, right? And all the girlfriends come round and they start shoveling a big tub of ice cream down them. They're trying to soothe themselves in some way. So I'm going to give you the main triggers that I work with people on. And the first trigger that is the reason or the cause or the unmet need of why somebody binge eats, comfort eats, is loneliness. And it's a big epidemic on the planet. And just to recognize, what does loneliness feel like, and how can I then change that behavior or that feeling of loneliness without trying to fill myself up with food? And so what we need to do is we need to change our behavior, change our strategy. We also need to start practicing. A solution is to turn inward. Start meditating every single day. The more that you can feel satisfied being with yourself, then you'll never be alone. And we've been programmed to believe that everything comes out there. And so when we have an unmet need and we're feeling lonely, it's often because we were neglected as a child, and it's triggering some past hurts. Because if we actually start a daily practice and you're filling your own cup emotionally and you're learning how to do that on a daily basis, the less you will binge eat, the less that you will emotionally eat, right? So number two, the number two reason why people comfort eat, binge eat, all of these things is safety. They're seeking comfort, safety in some way. So the best solution is to ask yourself, where in your life don't you feel safe? Is it in your career? Is it financially? Is it in your actual home? Is it in a relationship that you're having, or is it a lack of a relationship? Is it a feeling that you don't believe that you'll ever have love in your life? Is this making you feel anxious in some way? Because this sort of underlining anxiety will always cause comfort eating, will always cause binge eating, because you're trying to psychologically calm the nervous system somehow. So we know with safety, it's a really, really big piece, that we need to heal some past hurts. So this is why it's really, really valuable to start, subscribe to this channel, and we can do it gently together. You'll get all the tools and techniques, or get yourself a really good coach that you feel comfortable with, so that you can start healing these past hurts, the cause of feeling unsafe in your life. So that's a really, really big one. And another thing about safety is to look at where in your life, because anxious eating comes from not feeling safe, where in your life do you feel out of control, or that you can't seem to control that part of your life? Because that will be a major, major cause of binge eating, right? And also to remember that the nervous system holds memory. The body holds the memory. So the more that you can connect to body meditations and body scans and things like that, there was an incredible study done. I think it was with Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks. I don't know if you've been listening to that, but there was a tremendous study that she did, or she shared, I think it was, about two men that were 30 kgs overweight. And this is how we show that our energy and our thoughts and our memory are all vibration. And so they did an experiment, I think it was for 6 weeks or 6 months or something, where one person got given a coach, a fitness coach, a nutritional coach, went on a diet, all of these things, exercised every day. And the other one was just told to connect into the body and breathe into the body and create a practice of self-love. After a period of time, both went in for the weigh-in. The one that had the nutritional coach had lost about 10 kgs. The other one who'd started a practice of self-love had dropped 30 kgs. So we know that the body holds all our memory. So really, really important to check in with yourself there. And the third reason for, which leads me to this, the third reason for overeating, binge eating, comfort eating, anxious eating, all of these things, is because we're seeking love. And the interesting thing is, if you remember when you were little, you may have been given some money to go and buy a bag of lollies. And then so the body has a memory that sugar gives the feeling of, releases dopamine in the brain and gives the feeling of love. This is why a lot of people get hooked on, sugar is as strong as cocaine, gives the feeling of feeling good, empowered, love, all of these things. And so it also masks the need for love. So if you're stuffing yourself with chocolate and ice cream and sugar, it releases a lot of dopamine and the body thinks it's the same thing, it's been loved. But what happens with these guilty pleasures, obviously at the end of the day, we feel even worse about ourselves because we start putting on weight. And so feeling empty is the cause, and seeking love through food when you're not getting that need means that we're not meeting our own emotional need again. So how can you start appreciating yourself more? How can you start showing yourself acts of kindness? What can you do? Can you actually, if you're feeling really little, can you connect into a friend and say, I need a hug? To share that level of intimacy, which is into me see. It's got nothing to do with sex, intimacy, into me see. By allowing yourself to be vulnerable is your true courage center. So pick up the phone and talk to a dear friend that you feel safe with and say, I'm really struggling right now. And just to actually open up that part of you and know that you're going to be received in a safe container that you can share, will give you the emotional fuel to make that shift instead of just trying to feed yourself or fill yourself up. Because emotionally, we can never fill ourselves up physically from the outside with food or another unhealthy activity. We need to fill ourselves up from the inside. And finally, the fourth reason why people comfort eat is a lack of meaning or binge eat, right? It's a lack of meaning or purpose, feeling hopeless or boredom. A lot of people say, oh, well, I'm bored, I'm just going to eat. How many times you go for the fridge and you're not even really hungry, you're just bored. When there's no such thing as boredom, it's a lack of meaning or purpose. And we're so busy being human doers, we don't know how to be with ourselves, right? And this is a great time to think, okay, what am I not doing in my life to give myself fulfillment? Because I can promise you this, the more we learn, the more we grow. And self-achievement is the essence. Learning, knowledge is empowerment, is the essence of happiness. The more that you know how to do something, the more you know how to achieve that, the happier you get, right? All frustration and anger and hopelessness comes from not knowing how. So this is why I really encourage you to like and share this video, especially subscribe, so you get a couple of videos a week teaching you how to cope with feelings, cope with life, expand yourself. So that lack of meaning is asking you, what are you not doing? How can you learn something new? What's on your bucket list? And that will give you the emotional fuel. And when we're feeling really pleased with ourselves, that we're learning something new and we're excited, then we don't have to binge eat. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Once again, please subscribe and thanks for listening.